All right. Hello and good evening. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. In today's local SEO high impact tips for service area businesses, service businesses. In this particular instance, it will be about a cleaning company that I recently talked to in Toronto area, Mississauga, I believe. I don't want to butcher that, but they're a cleaning company. They're a service business, and I want to give high impact on site and Google business profile tips that could not only help this particular business, but also yours. So I really don't want to waste any time. Again, I am Chris Palmer. You can see that right here. Take the time. You can check me out. I'd love to help you out with any SEO that you might need. But let's go ahead and help this business, and hopefully it helps you. All right. I don't want to waste any time here. Let's go ahead and head over to that here. Let's do this, and we'll get right into it. All right. Okay. This is working great. Phenomenal. Wonderful. Great. All right. Let's go over here now. So here's the cleaning company. And again, we're looking at high impact areas that will help this business and you. And I want to start with the site because this is your digital card. You know, it's not the 90s, right? It's not the early 2000s. You're not necessarily handing out paper cards, but this is your digital card. When you speak to somebody, you might give them a QR code, but most of the time, you give them your website, right? When you wrap your vehicle, it has your website. You give them your phone number. With that said, I want to point out the highest impact things, starting with one idea, one page. Now we're looking at this particular city here, and I'm going to break down a lot of pieces here, but I really want to start with this. All right. One idea, one page, one idea, one topic. You're a cleaning company in Mississauga, right? As you can see right up here, you can see the URL bar here, right? So when I'm looking through here, I can see, let's bring this up. This is a Chrome extension. It's completely free. There's tons of them now. There used to only be like one or two. There's trillions of them because it's so easy to make them, right? But in any case, a helpful hint for you. There's CRX downloaders. You can download the code, take it over to Grok and say, hey, reduplicate this, and then upload your own extension. Back to the back to the point at hand. So that's why there's so many of them now, right? Or whatever AI you use. But here, let's take a look here. So we know that we're a cleaning company. We know we're in Mississauga. And I spoke to this business owner. We have Toronto and this particular city are the most important. So without even getting into any of the math, let's take a look down the list here. H1 professional home cleaning services in Mississauga. Great. But we have a stop word here. Okay. I'm not saying that that's bad. It's not the best. It's going to get tokenized, right? You can do whatever you want. But let's go down the list here. So we have an H2 here, Mississauga cleaners. Okay, so a variation, wonderful. When we keep scrolling down here, cleaning services. So we're still using variation, and we're using co-occurring keywords, service, services, right? Company, companies, right? You with me? But let's keep going down the list here. In fact, let's get into residential, apartments, deep cleaning, move in and move out, post-construction and renovation, okay? Specialized cleaning services, floor cleaning, maid service, you with me? House cleaning, emergency cleaning. If a service that you provide is worth having, then you should build it out for each of your cities, right? Or the towns or whatever area you're doing this in. For instance, I'm on the Mississauga cleaning service page, my primary page. House cleaning, cleaners, potentially made. It might be a different term. I'd have to go and look for this particular city. But that would mean that I shouldn't have 42 headers on this page. I need to be optimized for the city. So let's go ahead and let me share with you exactly what I mean by this. Let's come together here, okay? Because this is huge. I see this all the time. Do not make the mistake. More is not better. Your sole purpose of your site is to announce to the Google, to your potential customers, and be straight with yourself. Who you are, what you do, and where you're at, okay? So when I come out here, and I know that this is in Canada, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a extension. This is called GS Extension Changer, All right, look at Mississauga. I was already taking a look at this before. I'm going to change it to Ontario. I'm going to the actual city. Okay. Now, again, we're looking at one idea, one topic, one page, but I also need to be in alignment with what Google is rewarding, not just off page, not just on page, but also the traffic that I'm receiving. Okay. Let's not vary away from the topic here, though. So when I come inside of here and I go in, watch this. Mississauga house cleaning. Okay. So when I take a look at this and I scroll down the page, I see Mary Maids. Now, people at the top, especially in the map pack, are there for a magnitude of reasons. It's not just the best optimal page, but it's the embodiment of everything that they've done right. They have the right links. They have the right amount of people searching for them. They're probably paying Caesar what is Caesar, meaning that they're running advertising. They're getting a lot of brand traffic, right? There's a lot going on. So let's get the stuff that we control right. Case in point, the on page, right? So as we scroll down here, let's take a look at just Mary Maids. Okay, now I know they're number one for a reason. But one of the reasons is that they kept it simple. All right, let's take a look at their page. So we saw the client at hand, and look at your own page. We have 42 headers talking about 30 different services that we provide, right? Now look at this, 19 headers. And what do you think they have in their headers? And why are headers important? Because these are the high impact zones on the page. One of the best explanations I've ever heard for this is think about when you were in school. You know, when you have to write a report, what do? You start to section out the headers, the sections, right? In Roman numeral outline, correct? It's the same thing. So let's take a look at this. Primary keyword and note, city, and in this case, Ontario and the city, or city and state if you're here in the United States. These are called entities and primary optimizations, right? They're in the main zones. Let's look down the page together here. So do you see anything? Look at main navigation. I think that's out of line. Start quote, house cleaners, professional house cleaners, house cleaning, cleaning home, right? Variation. Look down the list. Mississauga homeowners. So it's a variation of home, house, home cleaners. You with me? At no time, look at this. These are unoptimized zones. This right here, award-worthy clean. So a variation, clean, cleaners, cleaning, right? Do you see 42 headers? Do you see a bunch of other services? No. And what I meant by if it's worth having on your website, then build your own silo for it. See, when I come over here and I take a look at this client here, take a look up here. See services? Take a look at this drop down. All right, here, let's get rid of this. Okay, here. When I look at the services, see, they build out silos for house cleaning, apartment cleaning, maid services, office, commercial, move in. So that would mean that I would have house cleaning Toronto, house cleaning Mississauga, house cleaning whatever city you want. Think about this for your own websites. All right, you got this here. One page, one idea, one topic. Do not confuse secondary services for variations of your primary term that you're targeting, right? You can believe anything you want out there, but if you go and look at all the winners across every industry, the fundamentals of SEO are still the same. So you can, you can think anything you want, but it's clear as day that Google is showing you what they want. Go and see for yourself, right? One idea, one topic, one page. Take a look at the top 10 performers and figure out your averages of headers, and don't sway away. Don't think that adding more is better for you. It's not. All right. Let's move forward here. All right. So we're going to stay on this page here of the locations. All right. Now, something that I want to point out, and I see this a lot, another high impact zone. Here's a huge problem. Okay. Now, I actually ran this through a tool called Screaming Frog. And no, I'm not promoting it. There's no links. I don't promote anything but me, right? And whomever I'm working with. But when you take a look here, I want to show you something. All right. A lot of times what I see, and what we're talking about next is going to be the structure of the site. The structure of the site should have been first, but And I'm not saying run out and change it, but if you're just starting out and you're seeing this video, this is like building your home, right? Like, I'm sure you've heard of the three little piggies, right? You know, you had one of sand, one of what? Wood, and one of brick, right? There's a particular way that is best to build a hierarchy or a structure for your website. Okay. Now, one of the things that I see a lot, and I'll show you this real fast, and I'll draw a little arrow for you. All right. See up here? See this section right here? It says locations. So this is a top level page. Now, when we show structure, we're showing levels of importance. If you take a look at your sort order, you can go to Google and see how Google is viewing your website. For instance, you would put site : okay, and then you put your website in. This is your sort order according to Google. On top of this, what you'll always notice is that the homepage, almost always, not only for your links, but also your sort order will always show first. Why? It's one of the most important pages for a lot of people. Right? Now, I don't see it this way. All right. But what I'm getting at is I don't want to have a top level page, okay, that has zero value or is misinterpreting what I am trying to get Google to do or users to do. So let me show you this. Take a look at locations. Now we're going to get rid of the third level or the second level. All right, third level, technically speaking. We're going to go to locations. So we have a top level page called locations. Okay, we're going to look at the optimization. So now I have a page that's called locations that's optimized for my primary key term that I actually have service pages for, house cleaning. Why? Why is every single top level page that houses all my services optimized for my primary keyword? I see this all the time. Why is that even there? If you're going to build a top level page, why don't we build top level pages for the primary term? Let me give you an example here. Come on over here. Let me show you something. Take a look here. Again, this is high impact. All right. These are things that will dramatically change the outcome and how fast you win. Winning in SEO is how fast and how cheap, right? How affordable can I win and how fast? That's how I determine the best SEOs, right? How much money did it cost you and how fast did you do it, right? So if you want to get there faster and cheaper, follow these tips. Anybody could win with a pile of money, you know? So here, come on over here. Let me show you this. So here's what I mean by this. So we're just going to say that we have, we're just going to say example.com. Okay. And as it stands, we have locations. And then what this guy did is this. Okay. Control C. He has another one called services, right? These are top level pages, categories. It doesn't, you can see this. All right. Just because it's in your navigation doesn't mean you have to name a page that. In fact, oftentimes I don't want to have a top level at all because Google will be rewarding the primary key term plus service page. You have to look at your SERPs. So if I come out here to Mississauga house cleaning and I can see here, okay, the top number one person has a flat structure. It's website.com/home cleaners plus city. The number two winner is winning with a homepage. Okay. The third winner is Home Stars. This is a directory. Okay. We have a directory style winning at number 3. So they have tons of authority and Google pushed them down to number 3. Does that tell you anything? Let's keep going. Number 4, right? So it's going to be a top level page. So it's a flat structure. This is what you always see. So here's what I recommend. Here's the high impact tip for you. All right. I'm not saying change your structure by any stretch of the imagination. If you're already getting traffic, you're already getting interaction from human beings with a current structure, or you have a poor structure right now, but it's been there for a year plus, leave it. This is for businesses that are just starting out, or if your site's flatlined, right? And you have nothing to lose, then go for it. Okay. But nonetheless, I don't want just because I have an anchor or I have a home bar doesn't mean that I have to put a key term that is completely irrelevant. And on top of that, if I name a page locations, don't just duplicate your page and target the same keywords. Now you have 5 pages up targeting different keywords, but the URL and the H1s and the text is all out of whack. What's Google going to do? Like, that's not professional, right? Like, go, if you're not even sure what you're doing, why would Google reward you? They're not. They're not. Winners don't get there by accident. So here, let's go to pieces. Let me show you this. So we go to locations, we see this. What I would recommend instead is if the structure, like I just showed you, is being rewarded by having a top level page, meaning this would say house cleaners, right? I've built a top level page for the service I'm providing. Remember, it's all about who you are, what you do, and where you're at. So the reason why this structure works a lot of times, if Google's rewarding it, is because I would have like this, right? And take a look at this. Gee, I wonder why this works. Who we are, what we do, and where we're at. That's why SEO is so great, because it's logical, right? Now, if I look at the SERPs, what you'll notice is this shouldn't even be here. It would just be homepage and then bam, right over to house cleaners plus city. Because in Toronto, or in this case, Mississauga, the majority of the top level players or the winners, the top 10, have a flat structure. So, gee, should I go against the grain? Absolutely not. Feed Google exactly what they want. So that's going to be tip number 2. Okay. This is out of hand. So going back to this particular example, which I see all the time, take a look. Services, here's a top level page. Look at this. Cleaning services, fine, right? Cleaning services for what and where? Relevance is rank. We have 7 headings on this page targeting all different. Look at, you're going for professional cleaning services, but so is your home pages, so is your location pages, right? See location? Just go to locations. Look at this. You with me? Here, take a look at this. Look in the main header. So I have 23 headers putting in location, look, providing. So we have our services, what customers are saying. So these are unoptimized. But the big problem here is look at my H1 and then look at my title tag. Title, URL, H1 are the highest impact zones on a page. Let's make sure that they're optimal. But before we even lay in a page like this that has no utility at all, it's completely useless. It does not help a customer understand your business. It's not going to lead a customer. There's no optimization. The probability of this page even ranking is 0, right? Because there's no value. Or here's what's even worse. We're going to move on to the next tip here. Is oftentimes what I'll see is business owners will make the error, and I don't want you to do this. All right, this is why I'm going to point this out. See how this particular gentleman has put something on this page. But oftentimes what I'll see is, say we go to this Toronto page. See how it says locations here? If I get rid of the service page and I go to locations, some business owners will have a top level 404 back to the home page. So that means when there's a crawl, it's a loop. And then they'll wonder why their location service pages aren't ranking. This is an issue, okay? 404 means that, hey, there's more valuable content over here. The only reason to initiate a 404 is if there's traffic coming to an old page. And I don't mean 1, 2, or 3 hits. I mean a vast majority of traffic is still coming to a prior existing page. And now I want to direct them to a new, more valuable page. But if I'm getting 1 or 2 hits, and I haven't built any links, do not initiate a 404. Why? Because when we're talking about server status codes, Google's going to go and crawl that stuff first. So I'm going to say, hey, Google, come on over here, or whatever bot or whatever. I'm going to say, hey, come on over here and see something valuable. But before you do that, here, go and follow all this stuff. And now come and crawl. No, do not do that. Do not do that. If you're going to have, unless there's traffic or links, do not initiate a 404. And if you have a setup like this, where you have a top level page, right? Where you've built structure, a silo structure, right? It's not flat because Google is rewarding this. What I would do is don't have that top level, like in this particular instance, if I get rid of the city page, don't have the top level 404. You're saying that the top level page has no value? You're redirecting it back to the home page as if this next level has no value at all. Absolutely not. No, no, no. And let's move on to the next tip. All right, so what's that? 5 so far? Let me give you another one. All right, these are high impact. Take a good hard look at not only the examples that I'm showcasing to you, but also look at your own site, right? And then, gentlemen, if you see this, I forget your first name, but there's a lot of work here. There's a lot of work. That's why it's best to plan your work and work your plan from the very start. Cleaning up is always harder than redoing the work, right? Redoing the work is always harder than doing it right from the initial time. It's kind of like that old saying. How does it go? Measure twice, cut once, right? It's the same thinking process. So let's move forward here. Now, I really like what you're doing here. My job as an SEO or doing this type of stuff is looking for deficits, right? But just because I'm showcasing deficits doesn't mean that there's not a lot of stuff that you did properly, okay? I don't want it to seem that way if you see this video, all right? But my goal here is to find the deficits in order for you to move your business forward, all right? So I really like this type of stuff. Remember, sidebars are considered body, okay? So when you're looking at a page, at the end of the day, there's 3 sections. And there's also 3 assigned values, all right? Not by me, but by the big G, okay? When we take a look at a page, the body section has the most value. Head is going to be next, okay? And then the foot. How do we know this? Because I have a testing group with over 2,000 tests. I've tested everything under the sun in order to know the answer. I know it's going to work, but I also know where the value is, right? I've had large scale PBN operations. I know where the links need to go. And now I can help you. What I'm getting at here is these sidebars are phenomenal. Why? Because it's in a very high potent place. It passes the most value. With that being said, let's move on to the next tip. All right. So the next thing that I want to point out is I'm going to share with you Screaming Frog. All right. Now, again, this is a paid tool. No, I'm not sponsoring it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm sure there's other tools out there, right? I like this. But I want you to look at a very important signal, a factor, perhaps, right? I don't know. I don't work at Google. But take a look at this. When I take a look at internal links, okay, 52% of all internal links are the word home. So, of all the things that I say about myself, which is the most important, right? I want you to think of this, all right? Everybody, even newcomers to SEO, understand that if I get a link, okay, from say Forbes, and it's a do follow link, and it contains my primary keyword, right? That's a great thing. That would be called a primary anchor text. You with me so far? So that's great. But you know what's just as great? When I'm on my website and I'm passing links from my home page, arguably one of the most important pages to a degree. I think service pages are more valuable, but arguably, right? But from passing from one of the most important pages, my home page, or even any other page, when I'm passing internal anchor text, I want to make sure that the page I'm passing to is containing a key term. Whether that key term is a primary key term, a variation of a key term, or an LSI variation of the key term, use a keyword. When you're looking at internal links, These are just as important as external links coming in. It's when I get an external link, this is external votes of what others say about me. What's more important is what I say about myself. So when you take a look at this right here, you say home 52% of all A tags. And remember, there's patents on hyperlinks. Google looks at hyperlinks very differently than just regular plain P tags on a page or paragraph text. Okay? They hold more weight. So with that being said, when we're looking at text on the page and it says the word home, this is a generic anchor text. Why would I want 52% of my A tags on my page to be generic? Doesn't make sense. Now, when I look down next, I see cleaning company Toronto. Okay? This is the next 25%. What I'm saying is I'm a cleaning company in Toronto. Cleaning company. But wait a minute. All right, so I'm going to your homepage. Okay, cleaning company in Toronto. So let me ask you something real quick. Do you service more than one city? Let's wrap up the last tip. Sorry, I jump around a lot. People yell at me. I apologize because I'm on to the next idea already in my mind, but Toronto is probably very valuable for you. And think about this for your own website. And yes, your homepage is powerful, right? It probably indexed first. It's one of the oldest pages. It's where you built your citations, your directories, your press releases. You probably flooded it with external links. So to you, like, oh, I put it on the homepage and it goes, right? It actually shows up when you look. Goodness forbid you might have to have some patience and wait for other pages to index and or spend dollars and time and resources to get the other pages to rank. But do not hold yourself back by the easy win, and you're not even winning. You're probably on page 3. Like, if you service more than one service and you do services in more than one location, right? Don't box yourself in on your homepage. On top of this, whatever services that you say, I'm a cleaning company, you did really good here, but you put a primary location on, let me take a look at this, and you have a location page. So I made my homepage only Toronto, but I also have a Toronto page. If you do services in Toronto, your homepage is like your contact and about us wrapped into one. This is all about the company. Then I need to have my service pages in Toronto for each service. When I look at your website, you do house cleaning, you do apartments. Apartment and condo should be just one. Never put and, you can put them together. Maid service, house cleaning. These might be the same. You'd have to look for your area. But I want house cleaning Toronto, apartment cleaning Toronto, office cleaning Toronto. Move out service, that's moving company. I don't know why this is here. And just because you see other people doing it doesn't mean that you should. It's one idea, one topic. You can't be the expert in more than one thing. Simply not. Not if it's outside of, like, you're a cleaning company. Like, yeah, okay, we do this on the side, or it's, a post idea and I want them to know that we do it. Yeah, but it's the 80-20 rule. Focus on your expertise. You'll do so much better and go farther. But back to the point at hand, I don't want to have on my homepage only Toronto when I actually service 12 locations. And then on top of that, I've doubled up. I have a Toronto page. And that's that tip. Let's move on to the next. This is another problem that I see. Okay. Another tip for service businesses that have multiple locations and multiple services. Okay. Let's turn this fan my way. It's hot as hell in there. Hope you're doing well. Let's move this jug. Okay. Hey, you like this new light I got? It's pretty fresh, right? Watch this. Green, red, yellow, pink, purple. I like the pink, right? And then I kind of like this green. Let's go green for a while. right? Those are the two that I really enjoy. Hopefully you do too. I don't know. A little different. Anyway, where were we? Ah, yes. Let's move forward. All right. Let's move on to the next thing. So you made location pages. Here's the issue, okay? And I see this across a lot of websites. You do arguably, potentially, okay, allegedly, 2, 4, 6, 7 services. Even though I think maybe you should only, like, the probability is it's up to you. Do whatever you want. It's your business. It's not ideal for SEO. This is my point. Like when I say, hey, only optimize towards one, you can offer whatever you want. But to be optimal for a win, remember, my goal as an SEO is to get there as fast and as cheap as I can, right? Or monetary value. I want to get there affordably, okay? And fast. So when I look at this, I see things that will dilute my overall performance, right? Like I'm offering services that are out of my category. You see, Google categorizes everything. They categorize backlinks, they categorize services, right? Does moving companies have a different category in Google Business Profile? Yes or no? Is moving company and house cleaning and house cleaners two separate categories? Yes. Yes, it is. So that would mean that, like, why is it there? Maybe it could go great on a subdomain to be optimal. Just saying. When I take a look at this, I want to point this out here. I have a list of locations. Now, the problem with this, and I'm going to harp on this service here, is that I build out location pages, but only for one service. For instance, take a look here. Remember, URL, title, and H1 are pretty much some of the highest impact zones on a page or areas on a page to optimize. Like even out of the box Squarespace sites, right? Or GoDaddy sites even let you optimize these 3 places. And they call that SEO. That's because they're the highest impact zones possible, okay? But when we take a look at this, you have house cleaning and maid services. Now, I bet you that's your 80-20. This is your 80%. These are the most important. But you've left out, you've neglected the rest of the services you provide. You've neglected your potential customers. You've neglected yourself, your family by only including this. So I build out location pages, but I only have them for one service. See, really, in my opinion, and from an aesthetic standpoint, it might not look the best, but I want you to take a look at this. So here's what you currently have, okay? So arguably, when you take a look at this, and everybody's opinion is different, okay? But here's what you currently have, okay? So this right here, now it's clean. This is actually an anchor that goes to your homepage. So this right here is gone because I already have a link that goes there and it's an image anchor. Plus, I don't want this A tag plastered across my site. Remember, what you say about yourself is what Google thinks you're about. It's one of the highest impact things. Next, about goes underneath contact. But do I even need an about? Like, isn't what the about is on our homepage? Isn't the about us and facts on my homepage about the company? Right? I'm just saying. Because there are pages that support the brand. These would be your contact us, your privacy, your compliancy, right? These pages support the brand. Then there's pages that support the services. Okay, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's take a look at this. See, really, I want the about us like this. So I don't want home, but what I would want is I have house cleaning. Okay, think of this as your drop-down menu. House cleaning, office cleaners. See, now the A tags across my website say cleaning and cleaners. Right? You with me so far? What's another one that you do? Let me take a look here. Post-construction, real estate, so deep cleaning. Apartment cleaning. I like that. Apartment cleaner. See, with apartment cleaning, I could talk about condos and Airbnb, right? Because to Google, if I search for Airbnb house cleaner or Airbnb cleaner, and then I search for apartment cleaner, Toronto, Airbnb cleaner, Toronto, uh, condo cleaner, Toronto, I bet you Google shows me the same results, just in different orders, right? That means to Google, they're the same thing, but whoever's optimal for the individual terms is who shows up higher, right? But that tells me I don't need 3 different pages. I need one page that talks about 3 things. In this instance, that's when you can combine services. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to this drop down. So one of the ones that I would have is probably apartment. Uh, apartment cleaning. Okay. Now, it's up to you what you put in here, which variations, but I'm just to show a point. Okay. Then I want to have my contact, right? And then I would have my logo. So we never want to have double, like you don't want 2 rows in the head bar. This is a cosmetic or a web design no-no. But if we have this up here in my drop down, right? Just like you have here in your mega menu or in your drop down section, if I were to come over here, see how you have a drop down? See, a lot of these could go together. Like house cleaning and maid here, and let's not guess. Let me just show you the point that I'm trying to make here. So I have Mississauga. Here, watch this. So you see the results and see the pages. Now watch. If I look up maids, you know, what is it? Like maid cleaning is the keyword. And then what? Mississauga. Here, like this, right? Scroll down the page, Mary Maid. So house cleaners, Mississauga is number 1. Molly Maid moves up. Let me see, is Molly Maid in the top run here? No, they're not. So maid cleaning. Oh, I ran this first. So let's be fair. Because it looks like that's how you want it to be. So let's just be fair. So we have Mary Maid. So that's going to be number 1. The maids, are they in this list here? And these might not be the same. I don't know. Let's take a look at this now. Services. So you have maid services, house cleaning, post cleaning. Okay. Real estate cleaning. Oh, put this first. Here, cut. I'm just trying to show you something here. Okay. And then what else did you have? You had office. Office cleaning. Stick with me here. Condo cleaning. House cleaning. Maid cleaning. And then I saw another one. What did you have? You had residential. You had home. You had maid. You had office. You had condo cleaning in Mississauga, right? You had what was another one that you had? And then it all ended with that. Maids, apartments, condos. Apartment. Okay. Now I'm searching from the place. Okay. So let's just take a look. So we have house cleaning. We still have the same number 1, same page, same person. Okay. Squeaky, Mississauga, Hellmaid. Hellmaid moves up. Squeaky, look at the sort order changed, but it's the same players in the map pack, which is first run, right? So far, house cleaning and maid are the same. Same people, different sort orders, at least in the maps. Let's keep going. Now, other players might move into position for a magnitude of reasons. But what we're trying to decipher here is, do I need two different pages? Yes or no? Okay. And this is how you go about it. You search from the location, searching for primary key terms. Okay. Now, I wouldn't just generally put in the primary term first, but this is what he did, or they did. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. Now we go down. We have house cleaning here. So this is a home page. I'm just looking to see. Oh, the cleaning. Different. Homestars has moved down. Homestars has moved here. 6. Here there are 3. You with me? And then when I come on this is cleaning company. And look at cleaning company. You see the point here. Maid and house cleaning, house cleaners, house cleaning services, house cleaning company, maid cleaners, maid cleaning company, and maid cleaning services. All the same thing. I can talk about those things within the page. One page. I don't need 2 separate. You with me? Now, we're not talking about multiple city pages. You can have that, but combined maid and house cleaning, home cleaning services, right? Like right now, you have 3 different pages talking about the same flipping thing, right? And what do I mean by this? Well, I have top level pages here. Watch. When I click on services, well, what's here? When I come inside of here, I see residential and I see commercial cleaning services. So here we go, commercial, and I've mixed residential in. These are 2 separate things. So right now, I already know that I have 2 separate pages talking about the same thing. That's an issue. It might be on locations. Let me come over here. So here we go. Toronto, we have Toronto cleaning services. We're going to go here to locations. Let me see here what you did. Cleaning services, professional cleaners. You may not have 3, but you definitely have 2 conflicting pages throughout the website for almost every service that you provide if it's a main service. You've conflicted with yourself at least twice. You don't want to do this. So I'm not going to harp anymore on this. I've showed you how to look it up, and I've shown you the issue. 1 page, 1 idea, 1 topic. Understand your core services and put them all in. Do a search. What does Google say? If Bing is valuable, what's Bing say? If any other similarity-based, cosine similarity-based engine is important to you, go take a look there and see what they give you. Be very keen on sort order, okay? Take a look at the list. Take a look at the sort. All right, is it the same? Yay or nay? This will give you your answer, all right? I'll give you one more. I think that'll round us out. Back to this here. So what I would want to see, because remember, what I would want to see here when you take a look at this, right? Remember how we talked about there's 3 different places on a page that show importance, right? And the head is going to be the second most important as opposed to the body, right? So, and we also know, because we just talked about it, that A tags hold more weight. So if there's something that I want to be said about myself across the website, right? I want to build A tags and I want to be optimal and I want to do everything right. What I like to do is this. Don't put generic, don't put secondaries. No, go right for it. You control your own website. You have to do a lot to go overboard, especially with A tags. So instead of having this kind of generic looking like everybody else, right? Let's do what's optimal. Let's take a look at this. And we have our image, right? You can see this here. We have our image. This is my makeshift image. We have house cleaning and then put the drop down. House cleaning where? Well, we do house cleaning Toronto. We do house cleaning Mississauga. Office cleaning or office cleaners where? Toronto. Now when you look across the website at the A tags, what I say about myself, it will read like a book. We are home cleaners, maids, and where? In Toronto, in Mississauga, right? Because now I've built, if you were to build this out, if I were to write this all out, this would be the dropdown. It's being read in the A tags in the code. Google's looking at the render DOM. They're going to see all your locations and all your services in the second most valuable place in the most valuable text, which is called an anchor text, an A tag. You with me? And then if it's still not enough to push me up, if I'm not getting any movement after, say, 30 to 45 days, On-page changes generally happen within 5 to 12 days, depending on your website and how new it is and how trusted it is. There's a lot of factors to that, but I like to give at least, if I don't see positive movement after what I change, and I change one thing at a time, usually 14 to 30 days, I'll wait. Then what I would do is take this same, but using variations, and move it down to the footer. Okay? But be very careful when doing this. Like, give it time. See if there's any position change. A down position means give it a little bit more time because it might readjust. Okay? Any movement is good movement, especially early on. Okay? Moving to the next thing. All right? I want to. I'm thinking that you do it, but I'm not sure yet. I'm going to go down here, and what we're going to talk about is supporting content. Okay. So this will be the last tip for today. When we take a look at supporting content serves two purposes at the end of the day. There's many others, but from an SEO standpoint is what I'm talking about, and talking about only. The two purposes are to build external relevance in, and that could be either traffic or links, and then also build internal relevance from multiple pages that are generating out external interest, meaning gathering traffic or links because informational terms are easier to rank for and get traffic for, bring interest into the website, also links to the website, right? Any type of external, and also point internal A tags with varying A tag anchor text to the pages that I want to rank. These are the two purposes of supporting content. Okay. Now, with understanding the purpose is to rank for easy keywords, right? And a page ranks for more than one keyword. Okay. If that's the purpose, and then I need to build as many internal A tags as possible from this page to the pages I want to rank, there is no reason. Let's take a look at this. Oh, Lord. Look at this. We have a top level page called blog. Ideally, okay, optimally, information or supporting content is always going to be your third level based upon a service type. Again, if you've already done it suboptimally, I'm not saying run out there and change it. But in an optimal world, in my opinion, okay, what I would want to see is, because 90% of the time, Google rewards a flat structure where the service and service location comes after the homepage. Remember, it's who we are, what we do, where we do it, right? So when I have example.com and I say that I am doing house cleaning, okay, what supports that is going to be my supporting content based upon that service type. Remember, supporting content serves two purposes. One, to build up and to attract external value, right? And then also build internal value from supporting documentation to top level pages. You with me? So at the end of the day, we have to start thinking, well, this is supporting content, meaning that it's informational content. If it's informational content, how do I answer questions related to my topic? And, well, I'll tell you how. At the end of the day, there's probably 10 topics, supporting topics, and they start with who, what, when, why, where, how, do, right? And then oftentimes there's a best of or a top list, 9 types, right? Another thing that I also really love is a versus. Who's the best in your area doing house cleaning? Me versus them. I'm just giving you tips. Okay. But what I would optimally like to see is house cleaning, and then who needs house cleaning. Okay. And then inside these bars here, see, like, who needs house cleaning? Let's pretend that this is the page. Let's just pretend that this is, in my opinion, wrong, and it doesn't say blog here. Let's say that it's this structure here, right? And see how I have these I'm showcasing my supporting content and I have a sidebar here. What would be in the sidebar? Think about it. Well, wouldn't it be all the service pages that I provide house cleaning in that this supporting documentation is supporting? And then what would be inside of here in this section? Because remember, I'm still writing a blog article or a supporting article about, well, who needs house cleaning? In the sidebar, I have the locations that I provide service in. And then what am I grouping together in these little blocks? Because my text is up top, right? What is going to be in these blocks? The other articles about house cleaning, the other who, what, when, why, where, how articles. And then in the sidebars, the locations I provide only that service in. That way I'm cross-referencing all of the supporting documentation. And then I'm also linking up to what? The pages that are actually valuable to me. I'm getting external relevance from who knows where. Because you're not writing location-specific informational content. No way. I'm casting the widest net I can, answering a question. And then inside of that question, I'm answering as many what questions as possible. Or in this instance, in this particular example, it's who. Who needs house cleaning? Who needs maid service? Who needs professional house cleaning? Who likes to hire these people? What are the who questions that actually have volume? Answer them all. And then link to the pages that actually make sense. Simple. But what we don't want to do, friends, and I see this all the time, is randomly building articles or working with SEO agencies where you sign a contract and part of the contract is I have to produce content. Yeah, content that is diluting my overall website and competing with my high commercial intent key terms. You with me? Like, why would I ever have, for instance, and nothing against this, and look at this is straight AI. Like, this is garbage in, garbage out. It's kind of like your life, negative in, negative out, right? But there's no value here. Like, look at the structure of this. Look at it's even got. Look at like this is copy paste garbage. You know, like you can use AI, but it's a tool to help you to build out your idea. There's no original idea here. There's no thought here. There's no helpful. Like, why would I ever reward? Why would this be rewarded? Why am I cross-referencing different types of supporting documentation? Why am I talking about more than one thing? It's one idea, one topic. Like, this is not only is it garble, and I see this a lot, but it's all over the place. Look at this. And then when I look down the list here, let's look at the heading tags, the optimization. Look at this. Cleaning cost, cleaning guide. It's a guide, it's a cost guide. Then when we start looking down, it's now it's a versus content. What's a one-time cost? What's regular cleaning? Why? One-time cleaning cost, regular cleaning cost, the frequency discount, the real cost. See, it looks like you're trying to stay on point here, but you're answering the who, what, when, why, where, how about the same thing. One idea, one topic, one page. Answer all the who questions. If this is going to be, in this particular instance, it looks like what is your big one, right? Answer all the what questions about one service and build out a thoughtful, high impact flipping page. Remember, this page could rank for more than one thing. That's why you can pack it in here. But these short, small bursts, like Google has seen this has been repeated somewhere else in a variation. All AI is a good spinner. It's crap from 2024, probably. It's been recycled 1 trillion times. Trust me. Like, there has to be some original thought. And if Google doesn't value it, then you shouldn't. That's my parting note, my friend. And I love you, man. And whomever sees this. Now I'm going to see. I doubt it because I waited till early morning to do this. I was taking care of some work. We're going to take a very brief look here. One question. Great. Hey, Chris, have a service business that went to getting 24 calls a week to 1 to 2 this week, even though I rank number 1 and getting thousands of impressions. That couldn't be. How long have you been running this business, my friend? It sounds wonderful that this is happening. You're getting a lot of interaction. Hey, Carlos, good to see you. It looks like you're getting a lot of interaction. Sure, I definitely can. I've been really preoccupied this week. I've been preoccupied quite a bit, actually. I'm fully moving. I fully moved, almost pretty much up out of here. Um, yeah, getting more into the real estate more than ever. So it's been going very well, but just doing some work. And yes, I would love to take a look. Um, Aside from that, Carlos, this gentleman above, you're getting a lot of impressions. I don't know how long you've been in business, but this happens. Things fluctuate. I wouldn't worry. Don't worry. Okay? Don't worry at all. But these impressions, right? What's great about Google Business Profile is they have a built-in analytic. Take a look at your impressions. What are the impressions coming in from? Are you also running ads? Are you running ads anywhere? Is your name similar to any other business that's online, right? Like in your area? Like, I wouldn't be overly concerned unless it's being detrimental to your business. Plus, the fluctuations of calls that happens. Like this is business, right? So I wouldn't be worried. Don't jump the gun. Take a look at what the impressions are coming from. And then the last piece of it is there anyone with a very similar name? Okay. And start looking inside of your analytics for the actual keywords that are coming in. And take a look at the smaller ones, like down bottom. Like take a look at the 10 or less section and see, is it odd stuff or is it all brand or key term specific? Like, is it stuff that's going to be hurtful or helpful? Like, is it out of the ordinary? Right. And then has this been going on longer than, say, 60 days? There's always fluctuations in the market. Were you running ads? Are you not running ads now? Is there anyone else with the name? There could be a magnitude of reasons that this is happening, but don't jump the gun. Don't make a bunch of changes. Sit on your hands, be very patient, and take a look at the data and then make a decision. That's my best advice for you, brother. Hopefully that helps you out. So we're at the hour mark. I love you. I love you guys. I'm back. Hopefully get used to seeing me every day. We'll be back on a normal posting schedule. I've been just busy, personal life, taking care of personal affairs, I guess. But everything's back in order now. New spot, new house, new beginnings. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Many blessings.